Hello, welcome back to the woods and welcome back to another one of my Bushcraft Gear top tips. And there's a special opening sequence to this one, me making tea. And that's especially for a viewer who said he didn't tune into my channel to watch me make tea. Hard luck. Now, you know when you see something and you suddenly think, oh, that's the missing bit of the puzzle. It's all clear now. Well, recently I had one of those moments, and it was all to do with, well, I was on Instagram and I was looking at a guy called Chris Merning. I think I've got your name right, Chris. I know he watches the channel quite regularly, and he had attached something called jungle knots to his basher. Well, jungle knots is not something new. It's something that a friend of mine told me about years ago. He'd been working with the Marines, and he said, oh yeah, he said they use this system of jungle knots. So I was vaguely familiar with them. But I saw Chris's clip on Instagram, and at the time I just was cutting a load more toggles for a set of my little toggles that I use around camp for setting up bashers, etc, etc. And I suddenly thought, why not put the two together? So for those of you not familiar with the jungle knot system, all it is a doubled length of cord. British soldiers use something called comms cord, which is a 2mm woven nylon. I've just used a little bit of type 1 3-strand paracord. As I said, it's a double thickness, and every so often you tie a little thumb knot. And what this allows you to do, if it's dark or your hands are cold or whatever, is to tie off very quickly because you've pre-tied your knots. So when you come to set your basher up, all you do is force the cord apart, push one little knot through, and as it tensions, this knot can't move beyond the next knot that you've tied. That way it holds secure until you need to undo it, in which case all you do is just pull that loop there and it comes undone. Simple system. I've added that to one of my little toggles, and what this allows me to do is I can carry a number of these which I can use for setting up my basher. That way I don't have to have them fixed to particular points. I can change the configuration of my basher to match the type of surroundings that I'm in or the weather conditions. Again, I don't have to tie knots. I just drop a toggle through the eyelet, pull this through. Again, it takes away the tying knots. Also, if I've got long points that I need extra cordage for, well, what I can do is I can take two cords, and to join one to the other, all I do is at the tail end of one is just pass the toggle through. Again, it holds nice and secure. There are lots and lots of advantages to using this system. Just the toggles themselves are great. I use them for just suspending my can over the fire. Particularly if I'm using my little TBS cup, this little toggle is more than enough. I use them on my basher, I use them for tying out tarps. They are a really useful bit of kit. You can even use them for attaching stuff to a pack frame. So I'll show you how I made these. So for this project, the first thing you're going to need is your little toggle. And what I've got is a little piece of dogwood. It's about the length of my finger. I've rounded off the two ends, and in the centre I've made a little hole. For my cordage, I'm using Brotree type 1 3-strand paracord, and I've got it in the bright orange with the reflective strip running all the way through it. I thought if I'm using it for guy lines, it'd be good to be able to see them at night. First thing I do is I take my paracord and I push it through the hole, like so. Then I go to the other end of my paracord and I put the two ends together like that. I then just tie a very simple thumb knot or stopper knot. And if you're not sure about knots, head back and see my video on outdoor knots. Tie that in place like so. So for the next bit, all I do is take the end where I've just tied the knot, and I place the knot between my thumb and my palm. Pull that down so it's fairly tight, and all I'm going to do is, holding this fairly taut, is just take it around my little finger like so. Pinch it in place, take it off, pass that end through to tie another little stopper knot. And you just continue to do that same process all the way down. So take the stopper knot, hold it between your thumb and your hand, wind it around your little finger, not too tight, lift it off, pass this end through to form another stopper knot. And what you end up with are these evenly spaced knots. And you keep going until you get all the way to the other end where your toggle is. There it is, done. Now the joy of this little system is when you're actually out in the field, you don't have to tie knots. You've already pre-tied them and you only tie them once. They're very quick to set up, and it's even quicker to take down in a hurry. So the type of paracord was type 1 3-strand paracord, made by a company called Broadtree, and you buy it on 30-metre rolls. And all I did was cut 10 3-metre lengths. Once those are doubled, as this is, you get something that's about 1¼ metres long. 10 of those for each spool that you buy. So there you go. Those are my jungle toggle cord sets. Give it a go. Have a go at making them. They don't take very long, they don't cost very much, and they are super useful around camp. If you're not keen on tying knots, this way you only have to tie one lot. What could be better? Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, remember, hit that thumbs up button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me over on Instagram and Facebook. You know where the links are. They are in the description box down below, as is a link to the Etsy shop over there. At the moment, all you'll find, I think, the mugs and some of these little Greencraft patches. Get yourself one, maybe two. You can have one on your cap, one on your pack, one on your smock, wherever you want. But get yourself one and show your support for the channel. Also, in the links box underneath, there is a link to my Patreon page. Over there, if you want to get more involved with the channel, you also get a early heads up on when we are releasing kit in the shop. You also get a step-by-step guide to making some of the bits of kit that you will see on the channel, as well as discount on the kit in the Etsy shop as well. What could be better? Anyway, I've been Neil, and until next time, stay safe.